Hi, everyone. It's Jason here, president of PEI. Welcome to this episode of PEI News Watch. I'm here with Marcy White, staff member at PEI, and I have Adam, who's chair of the Education Committee. And we're going to talk to you a little bit about the career readiness package that we put together for our members. I know this started about a year and a half ago. It was something we discussed at a committee meeting. Adam, talk a little bit about how this came about and why this is so important to kind of build off of our education programs.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So the PEI Education Committee identified this as a gap in the marketplace. I mean, most new hires come to the workforce with the technical skills needed to do their job. That's what you interview for. That's kind of a given. But it's been proven over and over again that technical skills aren't what makes someone successful or the only thing that makes someone successful. Really, the people who stand out, people who communicate professionally, they manage their time, they solve problems, they take initiative, they build trust with their leaders. So the education committee identified this as a gap because those skills are just very rarely taught in schools or in other programs. So that's why we created career readiness. We wanted just a good package that encouraged and gave people the necessary softer skills in order to succeed and do well in whatever job they choose to take. So it's about understanding how to show up, contribute, communicate, be that kind of employee that everyone wants to keep and promote. And so we thought we were excited about this program and glad that we launched it.
Yeah, and I know one of the key new seminars that we put together was the supervisory manager seminar. And I remember in the committee meeting, and this is not in just this industry; it's everybody's industry. Is that someone gets promoted, they're probably the best, hardest worker out there, and then they get promoted to manager, and they're like, whoa, I have 4 or 5 people reporting to me. And so, this supervisory seminar and this manager seminar, we put that together this year. And Marcy, tell us a little bit about that and how that worked out and how the feedback we got on that seminar.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jason. So that particular seminar was probably the one that we received the best feedback on because just as you said, the attendees there were members that had been in roles before and that were highly technical, but they had not necessarily been in charge of a team or done any type of actual leadership role. And they were kind of thrust into that without a lot of formal training. And so basically some of the feedback that we received about that particular workshop was that it was extremely practical, that they left with takeaways that they could use right off the bat, and that the leadership skills were really meaningful. And the feedback supported that people felt more confident going into leadership roles, even when they're leading amongst strangers, and that they really took some practical things away that they could put into action right off the bat.
So we started out with 3 or 4 seminars this year, and it was very effective and very successful. And so, Marcy, you've been, looking through this and working with the education committee, and they've been putting together some ideas. What does next year look like?
Sure. So this year we did a pilot and we tried a certain model that kind of worked for our attendees. And that was one that was focused primarily on education and really valuing their time away from work and making sure that the time that they were with us was extremely purposeful and practical. So we'll continue that same format next year. Since this was a pilot, we would like to go ahead and run some of the same content areas that we did this year again. We will offer effective communication, project management, and managerial and supervisory skills. And then we'll be adding 2 new content focuses to our programming. So is again to go ahead and run those 3 next year plus 2 new. And as we continue to grow and we reassess the curriculum, we are hoping to offer 5 brand new content areas in 2028 as well.
Thank you, Marcy. So, Adam, I think what really worked well this year and last year with the committee is the synergy between the committee and staff. I mean, the committee basically pointed out some things that they'd like to work on. You guys are the experts because you see this happening in your companies. You said, this is what we're looking for. And, we worked hard together as the committee and staff to put this together to be successful. So I want to thank you for your leadership. And I think we were off to a really good start. I don't know what you think.
Oh, I totally agree. In fact, I quite impressed with the whole process and with PEI. We saw a need, we identified a need, and then you as PEI ran with it and put together, I think, what's looking to be a very interesting and I think impactful program. So yeah, it's been a great process.
Yeah. Well, I thank you again for, taking time out of your day today to talk to us. I thank you again for leading this committee. I know it's a lot of work, but I think we've added some value to the membership, and I think we've added some value for PEI. This has been PEI Newswatch. Thanks for watching. I'm Jason Blake. We'll talk to you soon.